This is Mike Zawodkowski from Acorn Analytics. Today is Monday, October 27th, 2025, and this is my first installment of a video log where I want to talk about a few things. First of all, kind of what's top of mind for me. So, top of mind for me at the moment is thinking about the ways that generative AI can be used not to perpetuate this feeling of loneliness and isolation, but really how do you make it increase the amount of connection that we have with one another? So, uh, I had this wonderful coffee meeting this morning with Katie Johnson, someone who I'm hoping will come and join us here at Acorn in the coming months. And she talked about all the research that she's done over her career where tools such as AI could be used to make people feel more isolated and perpetuate that sense of loneliness where there's just an addiction to a machine that seems to be the only one that's telling you what you want to hear. We could totally do that. But we could also use it. We could also use generative AI and similar pieces of technology for furthering human connection and deepening human connection. And that to me is much more exciting. So I've been thinking a lot about that. I've also been thinking about how we have a team that's really in love with building great software. And we will gladly build for the right type of company, the right type of client that comes and matches our values and is interested in what we have to build. They have an idea, they have the funds. We will absolutely help them build that and be that technology partner for them. But we also have some ideas on our own team that we want to figure out ways to fund. And I have a mental model and I have a business model that I know works once we get past a certain level, like 10 million effectively. Once we're doing 10 million in revenue, some opportunities open up where we can be an investor into our own people's ideas for them to go and spin off other products that will serve to increase the value of the company. So somebody has an idea for a product or a startup, great. You be the CEO of that startup, convince some other folks here at Acorn to go and build that idea with you. If it fails, that's okay. You have a place that you can come back to. But if it succeeds, well, that profit that you make, that can be fed back into the company so that everybody who is part of that employee ownership trust can benefit from that. Or you can sell the company and we will have made back some sort of ROI that justified that investment, that risk of allowing you to go and pursue that passion. And I really love that idea. The challenge that I'm thinking through is how do we do that now? Can we do that model now to get us to 15 million or get us to even 10 million? Like, what does that look like? So that's top of mind for me. I'm also thinking a lot about the talent strategy because we're at 14 people now at Acorn. We may be at 140 people, 10 times as many by this time next year. And I want to make sure that we don't lose what makes us special as a culture. And we have the right pieces in place to be able to do that, at least when we get up to, say, 100 people. That's what EOS is really good at, using the right person, right seat framework to make sure that we've got the right head, heart, and briefcase of, experience and native ability and core values to fit within our culture. But it's still something I'm really thinking about, like, we want to make sure that we hire those people that know where we're going and can help us get there sooner. So I've been thinking a lot about how sports teams do this. In professional sports, we've got all kinds of stats that we can look at for players in all parts of a major league to decide who we're going to bring in. It's sort of the Moneyball conversation. And I don't necessarily have any answer right now. It's just something that's top of mind. Moving on to the performance part. Actually, before we move on to the performance part, one other thing I want to share is with all of this, with the talent strategy and with this sort of venture studio model of building things that maybe we try to fund internally as well as what we're doing on behalf of our clients. I really want it to be a safe place where we can try hard things, because with that risk, we get to benefit from some rewards as well. A safe place to try hard things maybe means that we can go and explore some opportunities and avenues that we wouldn't otherwise get to because a client wasn't necessarily funding it. And so how do we enable that is something that is top of mind for me. Moving on to Acorn's performance. Last week, we logged something in the neighborhood of $14,000 in revenue. We had the goal of doing more than 15,000, so we did not hit our goal. And it's the first time we've missed that goal in a few weeks. I'm okay with that because we also added a new player, which definitely slowed down the team as we're trying to bring them on board. But I'm excited to welcome this new player to the team. Greg Johnson, he has worked with us in the past at Acorn. I've had the pleasure of working with him at other companies. So it's exciting to bring him in with his experience at HP and Digitas and Nuance and Panasonic, and that level of expertise and experience is something I think we need. I know that I can trust him to represent me on the delivery side, so I can go back to the marketing and sales side of things. So that's really exciting. We took a little bit of a hit. I'm less worried about that at the moment as trying to figure out how do we get to that 15 million number next year as our revenue for 2026 when we're, looking at something in the neighborhood of 500,000 in revenue for this year. So it's a huge jump. It's not impossible, but we just have to make some different decisions. I'm super grateful for, Greg being available and willing to come and join the team. And he's also thinking a lot about some other opportunities that we can bring here to Acorn, some joint venture ideas, as well as helping on the project side. He's also making some introductions to some people that I'm excited about. The coffee meeting I had this morning with Katie was one of those examples. There's some other people he's making intros to. So super grateful to him for the work that he's doing. I'm also super grateful for Aleja. She has been hustling to make sure she's doing everything that she can and more to actually reach out to some companies that she thinks maybe at some point might be a good fit for Acorn. Maybe not, but it doesn't really matter because getting the word out about what we're trying to do to share this love of building great software far and wide, having team members that are willing to do that, it doesn't seem like it's a huge risk to them, but people are shy. Like, there's lots of reasons why you may not want to put your neck out and reach out to some old colleagues or old bosses and stuff to tell them about something that you're doing now. There's also a lot of fear about what that means in terms of do they have to be responsible for selling? And a lot of it is education on my part about explaining, like, this isn't about selling. This is just about letting people know what you're excited about here at Acorn. And I think there's a lot to be excited about. I'm also grateful for Rigo. Rigo shared some stuff about his excitement and commitment to what we're doing here at Acorn that really was a great way to end last week, and really lifted my spirits about what we're trying to accomplish. That there's some stickiness. Like, people are buying into what we have as a vision, and it's exciting to them. At least it's exciting to Rigo. So I'm hoping to just continue that trend and grow more and more the excitement that I hope is contagious among our team and those that are considering joining our team, especially if we're going to 10x the number of people that work here. I want to share with you what it is that I'm reading, because I think it's a nice glimpse into kind of what is influencing me at the moment. I just finished a book for those that are into the mystery murder genre. I finished the audiobook Everyone in My Family has killed somebody. Excuse me. The actual name is, the book is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. It was a really well done audiobook. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's unusual in its approach. I don't know how that person would top it if they were to try to do a sequel. I imagine it's going to be a standalone, but I won't spoil any of it. But it's great. If you like murder mysteries, you should go check it out. I'm also rereading for the second time The Science of Stuck by Britt Frank. That's just it's a really good book. Kind of opened my eyes about some myths that we have as a culture and society about what relationships look like, what being stuck means, what trauma means from a mental, emotional state that I just never had any grounding in. And it's great to get sort of a different perspective than one might get from, say, like a Brene Brown or just absorbing pop culture when it comes to those things. So that's it. That's my video log for Monday, October 27th. Hope this is enjoyable.